I am muted. Ah, thank you for telling me. That's annoying. I muted because I needed to cough. So I haven't really been talking about much useful anyway. I was just doing a present round. Gathering up some more gifts. Boing. Bouncing through the snow. Gathering up some more gifts so we can go down our research track a little bit more, hopefully. Need to repurpose our cable thing to make some more of these branches. We'll just set that going. I'm probably going to need them, so that's fine. And if not, I'll find a use for them, I'm sure. We've completed our nutrient research track, which allows us to make medicinal inhalers, which I almost certainly do not actually need. We can also get them from this track here, from the megafauna. Just need 5 more nuts. I should actually go and find those now. I was kind of meant to do that while I was grabbing presents. An expanded tool belt. I need to work on some steel plates. I wonder if that's the next thing that I should repurpose a constructor into doing, actually. I have a decent amount of steel in here, though I will need a lot more. We have a conveyor belt that snakes down from our foundry now, instead of having to run up to the container every time I want to get something. Ah, here's some of the... there's another present. Here's some more nuts. Oh, 5 is exactly what I needed. Perfect. Right, another path to protein inhaler. Have I played Hollow Knight? I have. I've played it for all of about an hour or two, I think, and then I got a bit frustrated with one of the bosses, and gave up. It's not my kind of game. It's far too stressful. I have some pulse nobelisks, powerful shockwave instead of a regular explosion, and I have a nuke. I don't think I want to use the nuke somehow. I should look at how to make one of the detonators though. So I need the object scanner, which I have, 10 steel beams, which I can easily make, and some more cable, which I can also easily make. Not sure if you'll like it, but got it free on Xbox Game Pass. If you've got good reflexes and you don't mind boss battles, then you might like it. I have very little patience for boss battles, and not nearly as good reflexes as I used to have, so not a good combination for me. Right, now my object scanner here, which I'm sure is meant to be more useful, but I personally don't find it to be very useful, whereas a detonator probably will be. Excellent. Now the next thing is, how do I make the nobelisks? That's literally a pipe bomb. It's black powder and steel tube. Alright, I have some black powder handy. I'll put that in here, I think. Yep, here we go. Cool. Let's make a few of those. Let's go blow ourselves up, probably. I mean, the great thing about getting games on Game Pass is that you can just give them a go, whether or not you think you'll like them or not, doesn't matter. I mean, the sunk cost is the subscription cost, so you've already paid like 16 bucks a month or whatever for it, but doesn't matter if you start playing the game and don't like it. Well, let's try these boulders. I mean, I've played enough video games to think that these look like boulders that are meant to crack. So, press R to reload. Reloading. And then I just click. Yep. And then stand at a safe distance. What I hope to be a safe distance, at least. But I want to be able to see it. There we go, that looks cool. Now do I click? Nope. Do I right click? I right click. There we go. And sure enough, they did burst apart. And revealed absolutely nothing useful. Okay, well, how about the ones down here? Guess these are just meant to, like, tempt you, perhaps? Not sure. Okay, this at the end of a canyon here looks much more convincing. That's much more likely, I feel, to be an opening or something. Boom. Nope, not quick search. Oh. We have found the home of Bacon and Garrick, it seems. Oh, yep, and there's a Mercersphere. Okay, I was hoping for a SAN or something. I don't even know what that looks like, but... Well, that was a bit underwhelming, to be honest, but I know what to look for in the wild, at least. Let's put our detonator away so we don't make any more rash decisions. I can't do anything more with these Mercerspheres, or the Suma sloops, until I find Sam. Which, it's at the top of the tree in the middle. It feels like that should be the thing I found first. But, for some reason I haven't. I don't know where I'm supposed to get that from. Because a dimensional depot sounds really useful. I don't know what it does, but it sounds great. Production amplifier also sounds really good. Okay, let's open up our calendar more, because, well, it should only go to 25, and we're past that now. Merry Christmas, everyone. So what number did we get up to? 20... we can also use the find me a number. Oops. I did not want to do that. I almost universally hate automatic inventory sorting, because it's never very good. It's the opposite of what I wanted. Why do I have 50 iron ingots on me? I don't understand that. Okay, anyway. Number, get hint, 22. Ah, okay, that is really subtle. I can see it now that it's pointed out to me, but that is very subtle. Some screws, okay.
That's just poetic. I appreciate a good joke.
Why is that? Never mind. Right, now we can do 23. Some more rebar. Well, if we make our rebar gun, stun rebar. Okay, interesting. Feels excessive. I feel we should probably just... Well, I guess for a bigger enemy, perhaps. What's this? Fresh factory trinket. Okay. Brilliant.
Since the human olfactory system is closely linked to memory, Fix-It created scented build gun trinkets to remind pioneers of specific concepts. This scent is the concept of caring about your family on Earth, which I'm sure will have no effect on you.
Excellent. And finally, number 25. Equipment fireworks. Fantastic.
Turning explosives into a recreational activity is exactly the kind of attitude that led humanity to its doom. By all means, have fun. I certainly will, now that we are finally close to the end of this event.
I mean, she's not wrong. And I believe that should be all, because an advent calendar doesn't normally... Yeah, 26 does not exist. Fair enough, too. I can make more object scanners if I want. Ah, here we go. Sparkly fireworks needs actual snow. Fancy fireworks needs bows, and sweet fireworks needs candy canes. Okay. None of them need black powder, interestingly. Whatever. Not what I expected. So let's put our stun rebar in here next to this basic iron rebar that we previously had. Hey Ark, how's it going? Satisfactory is going well, I think. At the beginning? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I haven't even done phase 2 of my space elevator yet. And I'm also focusing on the Fixmas event. So that's certainly not going to help it. Okay, you're backed up now because I need to change recipes. There we go. And then let's actually load some in. And now we've got iron going in there. That's actually pretty perfect, looks like. We can actually put this amount of iron in there. Good. And then we want to move this all the way up here. I'm fairly sure I need another lot of these as well before I put in the reds again. But I think that's the last lot of reds I need. I'll have to take a look and see how much I've got. So I do want to finish my tree. Or at least get to the point that everything's unlocked. Yeah, so that'll be the 400 golds that I need. with the extra 200 reds. Now, how are you going? So you're that. So how much smart plating do I have? They only stack to 50 and I need 1,000? That's a bit rude. Okay. And then the idea is that at various points I can actually just go yoink and steal all of those, and yoink and steal all of those, because these were backed up all the way up to here. And these were backed up all the way up to here, and now they can start shunting things along again. Good. We do have our awesome sink, but I don't have it powered currently. I've already gotten all of the things I really care about from the coupons, I think. So I'm not too worried about sinking more resources into that. So the next thing I need to work on is some modular framing, which, is that an assembler thing or a constructor thing? That's an assembler thing, it seems, bizarrely. Or it's a make at the craft bench thing. I need 200 of them, which means I need more rods and plates. Rods, not a problem. Got plenty of them in here. Plates, also kind of not a problem, the reinforced iron plates, because they require normal plates and screws, which I actually have tons of now. So while making things myself is always a little bit tedious, at the same time, it's often quicker than the alternatives, so, you know. Yes, we're already up to 82 of these, and that's just because I need now more of these, I'm fairly sure. So I guess we could have another assembler set up that we can feed more stuff into ourselves. And it would just make, you know, these more easily. We're also going to have to make a lot of other materials, and we don't want to have to repurpose the smart plating ones in order to make those. I haven't even looked at what those require yet. I'm guessing steel pipes, a lot of steel pipes, and probably a lot of steel plates. Which means we probably want to build another foundry as well that can actually be doing the festive stuff instead of not producing our steel. Which means we also want to set up a specific iron track to the steel production, I'm fairly sure. So we can just keep that going regardless. And then at some point we also need to upgrade the rest of our conveyor track for coal, so that we can have steel production and additional coal power. So we should probably actually stop just talking about that sort of things and actually go and do it now, rather than wasting time making things manually. Let's be honest. So what do we actually need to make another assembler? Some more cable. And some more of the resources that I actually need for other things, but, you know, that's fine. And another foundry will be, yeah, again, more things that I need. Now, what's our power like is the next thing, because we've got to be close, I feel. Our maximum consumption is lower than our capacity still, and our consumption is lower than our normal production. But we will need another fairly soon. Okay, but you will run out fairly soon, so there you go. Fill you up. Fill you up. Let's get some more wire. Oops. I could probably put a conveyor belt across into here, couldn't I? Just to have the wire always going in. Now do this. I don't care about the... It says it's clipping, but that's actually because it's going over. Is that fine? Now let's get on top of the thing if we can. What does that... No, that's definitely clipping through multiple things. And we can have it coming up one layer. That goes past the power line quite nicely. Cool. So that could actually be feeding wire all the way through there. We don't want it putting the sheeting in. That's the downside. We don't want that backing up, so that means we need to take this away and put it somewhere else. Which is fine. It can go into one of our other dead-end lockers somewhere. Or we just make another one, and that's also fine. We do have the ability to do smart splitters and things like that. But I think the easiest thing to do for now is to just put another container down here. And have this be for all the copper sheets. But we'll keep some on us because that's what we make pipes out of. Cool. So we have the wire going all the way through. The plates we do not, but we also cannot easily. But that's also fine. I mean, it is what it is. We have this. This is set up for the baubles currently. But we could actually repurpose this because we're not making them yet. Ah, we can actually. And we should. Because we do have these in here. I was holding off until I knew exactly how many I needed. But I think the key point is that I need another 100 of each. But I can take those ones out and put these in there. And then start doing alternating here. Cool. So that keeps that going. Then this one will be freed up. I guess we do have to bear in mind that the festive stuff is temporary. So we don't need to worry about all of that now, necessarily. Okay, so maybe I do just go back to making all of my modular framing manually, because the festive stuff I can't make manually. I also don't need the expanded power infrastructure now, it's just kind of nice to have. It'll be good to just move along on my milestones as well. I mean, we're waiting, essentially, for all of the festive stuff to finish. So we've got the time to just stare at our crafting bench for a while.
A few minutes later.
So this is halfway there. Then we need another 100. We have all of the rods that I needed, I think. I just needed all of the reinforced iron plates. And unfortunately for those, I needed a lot more rods. And screws. No, plates and screws. So we need 150 of these. Do we? Yes. Okay, so we actually need a lot more still. I was thinking 50 of those. No, it's 50 of these that 150 of these will make. So we're only halfway there. So I think what you really want to do with this game when you do start out normally is probably set up more mines immediately and just be gathering up more and more resources. And then have your secondary, and you can always do like a diversion, so you always have a splitter in line with a conveyor belt. So it can, like, if you're making rods, for example, half of them will go off to a container, the other half go into the next thing, like an assembler, in order to make, like, of the rotors, for example, that need to be made with rods. Because you're always going to need the primary as well. I'm fairly sure I had the rods that I need, so I should see modular frame tick up to... Oh, hang on, we've already got enough. Was my maths wrong? Oh no, no, it's not. My maths is wrong because again, I'm getting confused. 50 does not mean 100. It shows you the net result. I need to stop getting baited by that. No, we actually need a lot more because we're going to make a lot of stuff for conveyor belts to upgrade to tier 2. And that's to get more coal. Because our mine is producing at a rate of 120, but we're only consuming less than 60. I think 45, because I've only got 3 coal generators at the moment. Almost there, 98. Just a couple more. Swap to frame. Actually, before I do the frame, before I spend a lot of time doing that, we're going to come in here, we're going to dump screws there for a start. We're going to pop the plates in here, because sure enough, that's run empty. We expected that would happen. And then we can see that we've got no baubles being produced here. I think I need some more blue, don't I? Yeah, so I think... Is that all the blue we need? How many do we have in here? Wait, that's a weird number. That's not the number I expected. I think I forgot. That'll be the 50 iron ingots, of course, which I don't have on me anymore. That's silly of me. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 50, I think. So I think it's 200 there and then 50 for the ones that are currently missing, I suspect. Because we should have, I think, 32 in there, and then what I have on me will make 66. Because it's a 3-to-1 ratio with these. Yep. Nailed it. Okay. Then we just need to get 200 copper ingots for those. That's so many ticks to make one lot. That is part of the problem. That's why you have a machine do it for you normally. But this is the sort of thing that we should have been producing all the time anyway. I bet that middle one up here, I bet that needs modular framing. Looking at it, it's probably like steel pipe and modular framing or something. Or maybe it's just steel stuff. Because this is iron-based things, maybe it's things like this instead. It'll be concrete and steel instead. But we can't make that one ourselves, I'm fairly sure, so we can't actually see what it needs. 3, 2, 1, and blast off. Ooh.
Milestone reached. After several pioneers started exhibiting traumatic responses to power blackouts, Fixit developed mitigation tools recommended by your local therapist. Power storages can hold excess power to delay or prevent blackouts in the eventuality that your factory's power consumption exceeds production.
Yeah.
To simplify, these are rechargeable batteries. Power towers carry power lines for significantly greater distances than poles, facilitating factory expansion and exploitation of this environment for the good of Fixit and humanity.
So batteries and power towers. What do they require, I wonder? Power storage, concrete frames and wire. Alright. And storage capacity is 100 megawatts. So a couple of those could be handy just in case, right? And then power tower, platforms, and normal. They cost exactly the same, it's just whether you want a ladder or not, essentially. I feel that that means that this should cost a little bit more in the steel side of things, but never mind. So it's now to the point that we probably want to keep having some steel, more steel on us than just rods. I wonder if you need to jump between them with your zip line, or whether or not they just go contiguously. That would be nice. One way to find out, and that's to make some. But we don't have the steel on us right now, because our steel production is being tied up with baubles. So that is a bit of a problem. I can see why Ada is a bit annoyed with us. But that's okay. What should our next milestone be? We can't look at that because that's locked behind our phase 2. I don't really care about blueprints, to be honest. I say that now, I'm sure I'll want it later. Hypertubes I also don't really care about now. That's another like later game thing. Belt Mark 2s, I've barely started to use Mark 3s rather, I've barely started to use Mark 2s. Oh, I'll select that one anyway. I think that's probably going to be the most useful. But we're not going to worry about sinking materials into it right now. What we do need to look at, though, is, one, we're going to need to feed some more plates, iron plates, into our reinforced plate production. I can tell already when we're not actually producing as many of those as we need, which is kind of expected. I probably need a second production facility for those. So what's the state of affairs down here? You are producing our plates. You are producing them at 20 per minute with a 30 per minute input. You are producing 60 per minute because I've overclocked you, because I want specifically a backlog of iron, because otherwise it's not reliable from upstairs. You have a growing backlog of iron ore because of that. And the idea is like then manually pass the iron ore into steel production if I so wish. But I think I want to supercharge you to make 40 plates per minute instead, and use all of the iron ingot that I'm producing from this particular track. So it'll cease to backlog, but I have a lot here anyway, which is fine. If I do that, then it can just kind of flick on a second stack almost. Good. Running up that hill, because these do not end up with an excess in iron anymore. Especially this one, because this is producing exactly the right amount of rods. So 30 going in, 30 coming out. And because this is a impure mine, it's only producing 30. Yeah, 30 per minute coming in, 30 per minute being produced. We could overclock all of these to make them all 60 if we wanted to. But I'm not sure that I care too much about that right now. Right, next thing to look at. So we've got this. Now, I'll leave you on this, but I just want to look at what this... what did I say? Modular framework and steel. I bet that's what it would need. Actually, I thought it was going to be steel pipes, but it's not. And then that's... what are those? Those are rotors? No, stators. Stators, which are pipes and wire. Okay, so pipes and wire... and then that's plates and rods, as well as steel stuff. Okay.